Hey, you guys, how you doing? Welcome back to Conversations with Teresa. I'm your host, Teresa Aline, and I'm so glad we get to be together. I want to start off with doing an honest check-in of me, how I've been doing. And I there's a lot. There's a lot that's been going on. These last couple of weeks have stretched me. I've had some new experiences, some new pressures, and like unfamiliar stress. I think we're all familiar with stress, but things that I'm not used to. And I won't share the details, but I will share what it's felt like because it's been showing up, and it's been showing up for me, having like headaches that are lasting for a long time. My neck and my back, they've been hurting. My racing thoughts, and I know I'm not the only one who's been feeling this. No amount of Tylenol was going to help me with these feelings. And like I said, the tension was sitting deep in my neck. It was almost like it was like growing, you know, in my upper back. And it was like that tight, almost heavy feeling that doesn't go away no matter how much stretching you do or movement or anything. My mind, it has been scattered. It's racing, it's jumping from one thought to the next. Focus has been like ridiculously hard. And actually, focus has felt like it was impossible to achieve. And even prayer has felt different. The last few weeks, in all honesty, I couldn't even like form the words or have a cohesive thought when it came to prayer. I've been relying on my digital prayer journal, literally just reading prayers that I had written before because my mind just would not slow down. I couldn't wrap my head around anything enough, because it was racing so much. And sleep hasn't been great either. When I do sleep, it is real sleep, but somehow it's short. It's only like 5 hours, maybe 5.5 hours a night. And so it's enough to function, but not enough to feel the restored, to say. And this is where stress and perimenopause can collide. Stress on its own affects sleep, muscles, focus, and mood. Perimenopause already has my nervous system working overtime as well as yours. And when you put the two together, it can feel overwhelming in every sense, right? Physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And here's what I want to say clearly: nothing is wrong with you if this is happening. It can feel like everything is wrong, but it's not true. You're not failing. You're you're responding to pressure in a body that is already in transition. So for a long time, I thought that the goal was to kind of push through these moments, like kind of out discipline them, to pray harder, to do more, to fix it faster. But lately, I've been learning something different. And sometimes the most helpful thing we can do is acknowledge this is a heavy season, or this is stressed out the nervous system. This is a body asking for support, not criticism, not do more, right? And these words can easily roll off my tongue, but how much do I embody these phrases? And how about you? Is it even easy to say the words? Can you accept what these words are saying about the fact that it's not your fault? If I'm being honest, some days, and yes, like some days, yes, and some days, no. But I am getting closer and closer to the point of being gentler with myself and really accepting that this is me for now, and that's okay. I'd like to share some things rather that have helped me in different times to think differently and to think or feel better, I guess. Um, Kind of like a nervous system reset is one. Um, like when my mind is racing, I try like breathing through my nose for 4 counts, pause for two, and then exhaling through my mouth for six. And there is something about like that deep breathing that kind of helps recenter me. Um, I do this a few times, and it's not like all the thoughts are going to be away, but it kind of slows my body down just to say, okay, it's safe to slow down. I don't, I'm not a doctor. I tell you guys this all the time, but it is something that really does help. Just that deep breath and holding it and then being slow. Another thing is like releasing stored tension. Like the stress doesn't just live in our minds, it parks itself in our bodies. So, one thing that I have been doing, just as a practice, like when I wake up, is that I roll my shoulders slowly and I stretch my neck side to side. And so, even just 1 minute, it really does help to release the things that have been holding on just in that space. Again, don't know how, don't know why, but it helps. And then another thing I do is like permission based prayer, just to say a word like if prayer feels hard, let it be simple. So, for me, like reading a written prayer that I've already done, like that counts, right? Or sitting quietly, that counts. Sometimes, like when your mind is racing, it's hard to sit quietly. So I have to do something, right? So I have to read something, but whatever works for you. And saying, God, what's going on. That counts too. The spiritual connection doesn't disappear just because our minds are tired. It could feel that way, but it doesn't. God is still there. And then another thing is just kind of adjusting expectations, right? Not the worth, the expectations. On weeks like these, I remind myself it's not the time for perfection. It's a time for care, for rest when I can get it, for softness instead of self judgment. So, if you've been feeling tense or unfocused, emotionally stressed, or just off, I want you to know that you're not alone. I talk about this all the time, and I'm still feeling these things. These seasons happen, and they don't define you, and they don't last forever. Sometimes thriving in perimenopause, it isn't about pushing forward. Sometimes it's about like learning how to pause, how to breathe, and tend to ourselves with compassion and gentleness. So I want to thank you for being here with me tonight. Take what you need from this conversation and leave the rest. And if this resonated with you, share it with someone who might need to hear it too. I wish you all a great night and a better week.